reported today in The Verge. The Unihertz Atom XL is like a rugged iPhone SE. Either Unihertz is a really fun company to work at, or it decides each new phone concept by pulling random specs out of a hat. Maybe both. How else do you explain the existence of, say, the Titan, its rugged BlackBerry Passport-aping Android phone? Every Unihertz device must have a tiny audience, but I can only assume the people in that audience are overjoyed that the company exists. That brings me to Unihertz's latest effort, the Atom XL. As the name suggests, it's a larger version of the Chinese company's rugged second phone, 2018's Atom. But since the Atom was tiny, with a 2.45-inch 432 by 240 screen, the new Atom XL still ends up being diminutive by modern smartphone standards. The XL has a 4-inch screen with a resolution of 1136 by 640. That's the exact same specs as the much-missed iPhone SE, which makes me wonder if a bunch of unsold iPhones were discovered in a warehouse somewhere. Like the iPhone SE, there are chunky bezels above and below the screen, making space for a fingerprint sensor, capacitive Android navigation buttons, a selfie camera, and an earpiece. I never used the original Atom, but I can't imagine its screen was very practical for day-to-day use. Former Verge editor Michael Zelenko concluded as much after testing the Unihertz Jelly, which has the same size screen, a couple of years ago. The XL, though, runs Android pretty much like you might remember it working circa 2011, before phones started to balloon in size. Screen space is still a little cramped, of course, and typing feels quite a bit more difficult if you're used to larger modern screens, but overall this phone is fine at doing phone things, only at a much smaller scale. The Atom XL still isn't what I'd call a small device overall, though, as it continues Unihertz's tradition of making the toughest phones possible. It's 17.5 mm thick, that's 2.3 iPhone SEs, and weighs 225 grams, or slightly more than a Galaxy S20 Ultra. Much of that is accounted for by the 4,300 mAh battery, which is the kind of capacity you'd normally only find in phones with far bigger screens. Since the Atom XL only has to power a much smaller panel, its battery life should be pretty strong. It's also IP68 water and dust resistant, and feels like it could survive a fall down a reasonably large hill. A note on crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a chaotic field by nature. Companies looking for funding tend to make big promises. According to a study run by Kickstarter in 2015, roughly 1 in 10 successful products that reach their funding goals fail to actually deliver awards. Of the ones that do deliver, delays, missed deadlines, or overpromised ideas mean that there's often disappointment in store for those products that do get done. The best defense is to use your best judgment. Ask yourself, does the product look legitimate? For more on this story, visit the news article link.